How is up, everyone, and welcome back to another wonderful analysis of Dragalia Lost. Today, we're going to talk about the recent Gala Cleo, I'll just call it Cleo, and we're going to talk about the buff that Shinobi's recently got, which made him completely eclipse. Alright, maybe not eclipse. There's still something that Xian can do that Shinobi cannot. But Shinobi and the likes of his class, such as Sakuya and the coming Siren, has all received a 90% skill damage buff, which makes them, from their 70% buff, much stronger than they were before. Because what happens with Shinobi is that Shinobi already out DPS's the Xian before. I did the whole video about it, about how it affects bleeding and makes it do more damage, and now it does even more damage. Of course, given if you whiff the attack, it'll hurt even more, but at this point, Shinobi was already a stronger alternative to Xian. And now we have this that completely, I gotta stop saying the word eclipse, because it really doesn't eclipse anything, but it's just a much stronger option compared to the other one. So, what are you guys' thoughts on this? So, today joining me will be Bigasboat Strawbrandy on my left, and over here is on my right actually. To my left is Spinning Shark. After 10,000 years, he's free. He's been busy tutoring and spinning around. He hasn't been able to come on to the show, but now we welcome him back, and we're gonna have a little discussion on basically what I just talked about, the recent power creep that might affect this game on a long terms. Me and Berk, we've been talking about this for quite a while now with regards to Fire Emblem Heroes. So now that we got a new director and everything, I'm a little worried about where things are going forward. Now, Strawbrandy is a moderate spender, not a horrible person like Berk and myself. So why don't we hear his opinion first about this recent quote-unquote power creep?
Well, to begin with, we all know that Shinobi's really powerful on certain characters, and same can be said with Sakuya. But honestly, it's really strange that they came out with the buff for them, and 90% is just obscene. And we get the 70% at no one binds now, which was already crazy to begin with. So it's pretty crazy. I think they probably did it just since they knew that Leviathan was as powerful as a water dragon as it is, so they probably needed something for water, and they couldn't just give Siren 90%, so they probably just kicked everyone else up with the skill damage to match. But Shinobi with the team-wide energy was already better than Sakuya and Siren, so it's really strange. If they needed to buff Sakuya, they probably should have changed her skill to energy, in my opinion, but that's just where it stands. Now we're going from big numbers to even bigger numbers with skill damage. Don't know quite where they're gonna go from there.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of big damage, right? I don't know if anybody's seen the DPS charts for Gala Cleo, but that thing is off the chart. It just shoots off the screen. Everybody else is at a reasonable level. It's a gradual climb. I mean, there's definitely a lot of people who are much stronger now, and then you have that thing just shoots off the screen. Gala Cleo. You're looking at 8,299 to 5,923 from the new Shinobi, which Botan has definitely benefited from, but even that. Well, mostly because Gala Cleo is also dark and gets benefit from the new Shinobi as well. So it is extremely disgusting. How is any new hero going to be able to catch up? So this kind of worries me a lot, because they may have to either they revamp the original heroes that we have, like Roach Ezolith, for example, who is not doing very well at this day, and how to, like, either we revamp those or new heroes are going to have to follow this kind of thing I don't know. I mean, like, I'm actually kind of worried about that sort of stuff. So now, why don't we go to Berk, who's been away for a little while, and let's hear your opinion on this. What do you think about this this power creep that I've just described?
Well, tough, because at some point it was inevitable. Like, they were exploring different options on, slight power increases, but like in a different way. If you look at all the dragons and how they did like percent crit or crit damage and all these other things where it's like, maybe it's slightly better, but it's not, just straight up raw, just, eclipsing is the word you said. But they're just starting to run out of ways of making it interesting and exciting, and I think they've just realized they need to ramp up the actual amount that they're better by. And like you, I'm very concerned because we're starting to get to a point where some of the old characters are not going to be able to keep up, and I think it's going to take a major I don't want to say like buff, but like kind of how they revamped the system and made some of like the 3 stars better. Like, it's gonna take something like that, I think, to allow everyone else to keep up. Otherwise, the gap's just gonna continue to grow.
Right, like, this is probably going to set a new standard. Gala Cleo is very, very powerful. There is just no other heroes that can keep up with her right now. So the next one we're going to get, whoever is going to be in light, could be Sethia, could be I don't think it's going to be Luca, right? Yeah, probably not. But most likely are going to have to follow the same standard. That is going to make Gala heroes much stronger than usual. I mean, we still have Ieyasu and whatnot, but Boltan, well, her stupid team abilities and whatnot, it did somehow manage to score a little higher than Ieyasu, but that's not important. What is that Gala Cleo has set a new standard, and I'm afraid about new heroes that are coming forward. However, in the summer banner though, the summer banner heroes don't seem to be all that powerful. Do they inflict bog? Now bog, well, it could get really powerful, especially with the new affliction stuff that we're gonna get in the patch one. Well, whenever they manage to fix it. So we're gonna see a lot of affliction lately. And we're going to see a lot more damage dealt by Bog heroes such as that. But other than that, other than Bog, they don't have any like ridiculous mechanics as well. So maybe normal heroes that are like in unlimited summoning won't be a problem at all. And everything will be fine on that regard. But it's, from what I'm seeing here, is that Gala Banner is going to be something that is completely exceptional and whatnot. I'm still a little worried though, because Shinobi is not exactly unlimited either. And I mean limited either. He's always there, and not to mention what I've just mentioned about unlimited stuff. I feel that these unlimited guys that are now, because you would think that the recent marriage banners and the summer banners are going to be in the limited pool because they're event stuff and they're unlimited. That's actually a good thing, but when I sat down and thought about it, I thought, hey, wait a minute. But doesn't that make things more clogged? Like, our summoner pool has been a little more busy of late. It's been filling up since we have had our worm print change. Ever since the worm prints have been removed from the summoning pool, we've been getting a lot of heroes that are unlimited in nature, except for Galas and Ieyasu and such. But that's about it. So what do you think about that? Do you think this is like on purpose? Do they do this to fill the... either one of you can answer whichever one. But what do you think about this? Do you think like this is some kind of marketing strategy to just kind of fill the summoning pool with some useless crap and just make us spend extra on Gala or something like that?
You want to take this one, Berk?
Yeah, sure. I think the answer is yes, because I think once not even the worm print change, the change, where they removed them, not the dual worm print change, where they removed them from summoning. That change has actually, I think, been in a lot of ways not wholly, but fairly negative, because for big whales out there, people that spent a lot, you have every single worm print by now. That is not limited that you could get. And then you have more Elfwater. So okay, now what do you do with it? Get second copies, I guess? Sure. finish maxing all your circles, sure, but like really, that's it. Like, what do you have to summon for? So like, yeah, they're pushing the envelope. All these limited, Gala units, limited banners. Now they're pushing the dragons. You can see with like Shinobi. I think that is what happened. That it was kind of short-sighted that they, made this change. It was great for everybody, but like now look at the effect that it's having. Like now they have to push all this other stuff to get people to summon again.
Yes, exactly, and that's why it's scary, because now I think they dug themselves into a hole. It wouldn't be surprising to me at all that they swapped director because, hey, this guy he got a little too generous here. We're gonna replace it with this dude. What do you think about this, Strawbrandy, since you were gonna say something yourself as well? Is it a similar thought or something a little different? Oh crap! Did he die? Did he become?
Oh, sorry.
Titanic?
Did I mute myself?
I guess you did. So, what do you think about this?
Well, it's a similar line of thought to Berk, but let me see. After they remove the Worm Prince, once you get a lot of the heroes, and dragons, all they really are water at that point. Even the 4-stars, you don't need a 4-star dragons. You don't need to summon dupes of them. We get monthly moonstones, so you can max those out and cruise comfortably against high dragons and all the endgame content. It's not a really big deal for those, so that's probably a major reason why they're adding all these unlimited units. Summer is strange for me though, because I said on your Discord quite often, like, wedding one, it was kind of strange that was unlimited, but you can still get married whenever. But summer being unlimited, you can't summer year round.
Yep, that's right.
But it's probably, like Berk said, it's just a ploy to fill up the pool so they have more reason to draw. The summaries don't really seem that appealing though, outside of Watermarth. And well, of course, the new. What is Watermarth?
You're right about that.
Which the new dragons obviously going to be good for a few units, not the sword ones though. Swords need those meaty 4 strikes.
Indeed. Well, so have you've summoned on the Gala banner, right?
I have spent more than I care to admit on the Gala banner.
Ooh, but you did manage to get her?
I was on my last ones. I was like, shit, I'm in too deep. I need to stop. And I got it.
Oh, lucky, yeah. I got really lucky with that one, so I shouldn't say much about that, but man, you got really lucky. Good work with that. Getting that one will really help you out in the near future. I've seen a lot of people who are like just off elementing Gala Cleo because she just does so much damage. I mean, like, shooting through the DPS charts like that, you can pretty much expect that she can perform in any situations, making your teammates so much stronger than they already are. Now, since you summoned, when you summoned, did you take a look at the charts and like the summoning percentages and whatnot?
For this particular banner, I was gonna summon regardless. Cleo's my favorite, just straight up. Even if she was terrible, that is still summoned for her. But like, you see that kit, like, damn, she is majorly overtuned.
Exactly.
Majorly overtuned. She has an attack buff. She has attack and defense debuff on the enemies, and a heal.
I know, it's ridiculous. So I was going to talk about this before as well, and the idea is that, hey, listen, we're going to summon for Cleo anyway. So what is up with this sudden extreme power creep? Like, it wasn't even necessary. It was not a necessary thing, because a lot of us are fans of Cleo. We would have summoned for her anyway. But all of a sudden, well, she's a super worthwhile investment. What exactly are they planning with this? Is things going in the background so poorly because of what they did with the worm print changes and whatnot that they really desperately need people to start summoning? Like, Okay, alright, Berk. Spinning Shark. What do you think about Gala Cleo yourself, since you haven't been super active lately? This is like the last day where you could summon her. Would you actually, try and make a summon for her, or do you just not? You're not going to do it because you don't have any strong specific feelings for Gala Cleo.
I like her. I actually logged in, got 2 10x vouchers, and then like a bunch, 3K, whatever Wormite I got, and spent them all and got nothing. Well, not nothing. No Gala units. I got like another Leviathan. I think I have 7 now, and then what was the other dragon I got? Cerberus, maybe. Yeah, I wanted to summon her. I like Cleo. I got the Dragon Mule one back in the day. Wow, was that really almost a year ago? It was like 8 months ago or whatever. Jesus. Yeah. And obviously, I read the kit. It didn't take very long to realize how ridiculous Cleo is. So I was like, I just got all this shit. Why not summon? But I think even if she hadn't been that OP, I probably would have logged on and still summoned anyway. Like you just said, I don't think they needed to make Cleo that strong in order to bring people in to summon. But yeah, that's odd. Interestingly, I actually don't have a single Gala character, not one.
Oh, you're not gonna try and you're not gonna try and.
Oh no, I've summoned. I mean, over the course of all the banners, I must have. I mean, I never wailed on them, but I must have done at least 30 to 40 10x's like across all Gala banners, and I just haven't even gotten a single.
See, well, would you wail for this one now, or are you gonna try to kind of just hold back? I mean, this is the last day. You're gonna lose out, because as I was going with Strawbrandy about the percentages things, because of all the pity breakers we now have, right? The percentages for Gala, the other Galas that we have in the past, are very low because they have a lot of pity breakers attached to them. They're in the same pool. They're just not, a focus. And since they're not on focus, their summoning percentages are. Let me just take a quick look at it. All the other heroes' percentages are 0.08%. So it's gonna keep going down. And this is on top of every other Gala heroes and all the other unlimited heroes. So if this keeps up, you're gonna have a really tough time getting a specific hero that you want off banner. Normally you wouldn't want to summon on banner, but see, the problem is that these banners have been rotating. Have been going through different characters, but they haven't been rotating. So you never know if they're just not gonna have Gala Cleo back. It's gonna create some kind of urgency, shall we say, to summon on their banners. But since you appear to not be doing that right now, can you give me your thoughts? Would you actually go and actually try and summon for Gala Cleo now that I've told you this? Or are you still going to just go with whatever you're doing?
That didn't change my mind, mainly because while I like Cleo, she's not on the same level as Heruldegarn, who, if this were a Gala Heruldegarn, I probably would be wailing right now. But that's one reason, so she doesn't, I guess, quite meet top waifu status. But the second reason is that she, even though she's super OP, she does not feel necessary for me to clear the content I need to clear. And I honestly haven't even looked into Jupiter that much, but my sense was that it was not required. Like, people were clearing it with other things, so I would probably wait to wail on the thing I need most to do the next piece of dragon content, which would be me getting one of the dark dragons. So that's probably where I would focus.
Okay, alright, that's fair. Now, as you both, or you may or may not know, the recent High Dragon, the High Jupiter, was cleared with a team with Althemia in it. Now, Althemia, as we know, is my favorite character, 3 stars and whatnot, 3-star Dark Mage. And she performs, that is a team without Gala Cleo, by the way, so High Jupiter was cleared without Gala Cleo. She's not necessary whatsoever. So, as you said, it might be one of these things where, hey, our hands are tied. Like, the inside games are like, hey, our hands are tied. We need to make money, but no one really wants to summon. Like, no one has, like, this really strong urgency to summon, because we have 60 strength heroes already, right? So if you have 60 strength heroes across all the elements, you're less willing to spend. So Shinobi getting a buff, and likely we might see other stuff like Pazuzu with the poison damage. He might get a buff or something like that. Although, you know what really needs a buff really badly? Nyarlathotep. Nyarlathotep really needs a buff right now because he's absolutely deplorable. He needs to at least lose the fact that he loses his 50% attack power when he's below 30% health. That way he gives you a shield and still maintain a good attack presence. That would give Natalie a much stronger presence than she does have now, because once she gets reduced to 20% health, oh hey, I get a shield and all that. But well, you know, I would use some other dragons, but I would not use Nyarlathotep. Now, if I could use Nyarlathotep with Natalie, then she becomes really strong because her shield stacks on top of other shields, so she can block 2 attacks and still maintain a good offensive presence. That's why that dragon needs a buff, and quick. Now, that being said, so I feel like now that they have set a precedence for it, they might do this eventually for the other dragons as well. Because Pazuzu for the longest time was whatever. Nyarlathotep, of course, even worse. Now we have this affliction change, which will definitely help out Pazuzu, so that I'm looking forward to. But whenever they actually manage to get to work, they managed to bug out the game yesterday and make us all sit through maintenance because of all the afflictions thing and free tenfold summons and whatnot. Now we have another free tenfold summon for everybody who wasn't affected, because they do give out these things pretty freely. They've been really generous with these things. So I think that they may have kind of dug themselves into a hole as a result. Now, do you think what they're doing right now is a good thing, though? Like, just suddenly release really powerful stuff like that, and the old guard just kind of falling behind, and eventually maybe phased out. You might just end up getting, say, a Gala Harudagon, as you say, and that is like a million times stronger than the one that you have before. Because right now we have investments now. We have investments in the form of these, what are they called? I'll just call them crests for now. You know, these stupid augments that we get? We get like crests and such that we put in the characters. Now we can remove them and use money to pay for it, but still, it's kind of an investment these days to put into your... you can't get your Elborder back. No, of course, there's also that. So anyway, what are your thoughts on what I've just described? Do you think that what they're doing is a good thing? Or is it just like some kind of horrible decision made out of desperation? Like, is the path of where they're going a safe one or a dangerous one? Either one of you can tell me. Go ahead.
Well, for me, it looks like Gala Cleo's kind of an outlier. Like, even among Gala characters, she's just crazy, like we already established. Damn, like 3,000 over the second best on the DPS sim? It's ridiculous. That's across 60, 120, and 180 seconds. It's like, Cleo might have been an outlier, especially considering coming up the summer banners. They look good, but the kits aren't too impressive. Summer celery looks to be kind of top tier. I don't think we need another Sunrise Axe though. Don't see too much use for her. I don't see too much use for Julieta, sadly.
Yeah, sadly.
So right now, Cleo could have possibly been an outlier, or they just jacked her up for quick spending on the Gala, empty for the summer,
So you think that this might be like just like a mistake? Maybe they miscalculated or something like that?
Looking at what we have so far, probably. If we get something busted during anniversary again, probably not. But as it stands right now, she might have been an outlier, just power level wise.
Well, I think that we might get another outlier like that. I mean, Ieyasu himself was like that. Of course, not that much, but he was an outlier by himself, thanks to that bleeding nonsense. Of course, then we have Botan, who ends up carrying that as well. So I think that they just weren't doing calculations properly when they release characters. They just, I mean, like, you know the whole energy mechanics, right? They were really pushing for it. They were like, oh yeah, this is the greatest thing ever. Everybody has energy now. All New Heroes has it. It turns out that it's not all that great because it has a number of weaknesses attached to it. So, but for a while there, energy was looking like they were going to be a thing. That didn't work out, so they ended up doing bleeding. And now we have buffs upon buffs. Every character now has some kind of buff that will help, like, well, not every, but most characters these days have, like, some kind of buff that helps out the team in strong ways. Because they've seen, I'm guessing they probably see the DPS things. They see, like, how Xian is doing, how Melody is doing, and it seems like they might be going to the direction of, hey, maybe, you know, buffing the team is much stronger than everything else. Maybe that's what we're going to be featuring on. So, I think that Anniversary is likely going to be pretty busted. I'm going to just say that right now. I think it's going to be really busted. I think Cleo is made that way. Although she is an outlier, she's purposely made that way because a lot of people are fans of Cleo. And they, despite the fact that a lot of us are going to summon for her anyway, they feel the need to make her even more busted than before to make us really want to go for it. And Gala, on top of the lower rates that we have these days, makes this more prevalent. So now, in the Anniversary, I'm predicting something like Udin himself could be one, of course, and then Sethia is a likely possibility because that's what we're going to be seeing on the next chapter on the story. So I think that the next thing is going to be like that too. So do you think that maybe perhaps then a strategy of just summoning a nothing but Gala banners then would be a much better idea? Like limited banners, like the Zodiac ones, like such as Ieyasu and Gala banners. Like unlimited banners just feels less and less appealing. I don't understand like why that is so. This whole summoning is so weird, especially coming from Fire Emblem Heroes, which every goddamn banner is a limited banner.
Alright. Well, like unlimited banners have honestly kind of been unappealing for a while. I say that even though I summon, but they really have been unappealing for a while. They might have had a good character here and there, but especially if you think about it from the point of view from even a light spender, you can just dream summon something later on. If you spend a little bit, there's no point in not dream summoning because you get to pick your character you want. And then you get a 10 summon.
Exactly.
Like, at least so yeah, like, they really haven't had that appeal for a while. It's been better off to just wait for something limited. So that's why it's even stranger once again that you know Summer isn't limited.
Yeah, I know. So I just don't know. I mean, like in a business point of view, that they really tied themselves up with this, and now do you think that this will be a problem? Like, do you think that now they're gonna like set things up? You say that they're an outlier, but do you think that now that I've talked about the whole, you know, unlimited being unappealing, do you think that they will try to make it more appealing, or like replace the old guard altogether? What do you think?
Well, most of them do that. That's not a good idea. It doesn't matter what, like, if people spent or not. If people's units they built up that they love, if they get replaced and they're not usable, that's going to make everyone upset. I do think that there is a lot to worry about here. I honestly think they kind of have to push the envelope because, like you were just referring to, they're a business. They need to make money. If people aren't summoning, then this game is going to collapse. Like that's a main premise. Like they need people to summon. They need to make money. They're a business. But at the same time, they're down the road that FEH went, and FEH already hit the point of no return where they power creep so hard that it's now impossible to bring any of the old characters back up to relevance. Like they continue to do those weapon forges or whatever, but like it doesn't matter. The past units in the initial pool are so far back that like without giving them extra 30 stats, at this point they're meaningless. But I don't think Dragalia hit that point. I think that if they are careful, they can continue to push the envelope to make people excited to summon without going so far that they just screw over the current pool permanently. I think that they can do that, and as long as they're mindful of how far they're going, they can bring the other units back up in time before it gets too late.
Alright, that's fair. So, as we talked about before, the current content is not so difficult, so you could clear it with like 3-star characters and such right now, so you don't even need to spend if you don't want to. Now, I understand that that is in itself also an issue, because once you clear a high dragon, you've got nothing to do. We've been sitting on our asses in this channel for quite a while now. Like, after we finish a high dragon, oh, okay, then we just gotta, farm them regularly each week, and that's it. And we have people who do their meme clears and whatnot, but I find that kind of boring after a little while too. It's just like, hey, you use a character that's unusual, that's great, but the content itself these days is very, how should I put it, casual. It's not that hard, and well, I don't know. Do you think that they might just release something much harder? But if they do that, then we endanger a situation where, hey, now older characters don't stand a chance. But now, if this game is in a way is set so that, hey, look, free to play can just clear anything that they want and like with relative ease, then we don't have anyone spending either. So this Gala Cleo thing is kind of, in my opinion, a turning point in what this game is going, the direction this game is going. I'm a little worried, but I guess it's still just started. We only just got this new director and whatnot, but there's these signs are there right now, and it really bothers me. I don't know. I mean, you're a little worried. I don't know about you, Strawbrandy. What do you think? Are you worried or nah?
It's hard to really say. I try to remain hopeful because I really like this game. I like the gameplay of it, and even now, like, I still do meme clears with pugs just for fun to see, just for a challenge, even though I haven't actually maxed out any of the high dragons. But yeah, if they keep on kicking up these power levels, I don't know if I want them to kick up the power levels of the content that we have to challenge them with, because then that would just, push the OP new characters even more. So it's really hard to say, but I try to remain hopeful, honestly.
Do you think that then the current state of the game is good as it is then? Do you think that they don't really need to increase the difficulty or lower the difficulty or anything like that? They should just, as long as they're going on this path that they're doing right now, and Gala Cleo is just, say, an outlier, do you think that this is fine?
From a point of view of a player, as long as the old characters can still clear the new stuff, it should be fine. But from the point of view of a business, that is potentially an issue for them, because then if the old characters are just too good, then no one tries to get anything new.
Yeah. Alright, well, we pretty much covered all the spots with that then, because I think that personally everything is fine as it is. We don't need Gala Cleo to clear things, and as a game right now, this game is perfect because everything, it's still fun, and I like the stories. I think the story itself is kind of carrying in its own way. It doesn't have the long-standing IP which Fire Emblem Heroes had, but it's still very entertaining story, and the characters are very lovable, and we summon for these specific characters because we like them. So I think that that's what's going to carry the game for the long term, hopefully, at any rate. And that if they keep the direction that they're going at the moment, we should be fine. I don't know what they're planning on doing with this alliance feature though, because this alliance feature, while currently right now it's a chat room. Oh yeah, we just boom, boom, boom each other all day. I think that they might just bring in guild wars and such like that. And when that happens, we're going to have a tough time of it. I don't know what we're going to do then. Then, characters like Gala Cleo could make a startling impact because the number of points that we can get, though it also might mean, hey, if you just simply grind more, then any characters will be fine as well. But, it's still kind of worrisome for me, but not as big of a worry like, oh yeah, this game is about to die or some shit like that. But you know, I think that as long as we keep to this kind of slow-paced direction, we'll be fine. Just no more of these sudden bursts of power that Shinobi has. Shinobi does not need any more power. He's already good as it is, in my opinion. But anyway, so that's pretty much about it about this discussion. I don't know if I have anything else to add. What about you, Berk or Strawbrandy? Do you guys have anything you want to say?
Actually, now that you mentioned something you brought up just now, you said that we could actually carry summonings through, with the characters rather than their kits. But how does that apply? Do you think that'll apply differently to a new character that doesn't have something we don't already have an attachment to, like a Yaten or a Natalie? Granted,
yeah.
those are good.
Well,
but yeah, how do you think it would apply to those?
Well, new characters like Yaten and Natalie is based off of their design. I think most first and foremost, you see Natalie, oh, she's hot, look at her, and then you want to summon for her. I mean, like, think about it like this: this new IP, this game itself is new. It's only been like less than a year. It's almost a year, but it's still less than a year. All these characters are all original, new. And we somehow have already found attachments to them. So I think that coming forward, it's more or less just, hey, this character is very appealing. I mean, like, just now we learned more about Shell with Chapter 9. And Shell before then was kind of like, oh, okay, she's older sister and whatnot. Some people, like myself, like her already because, oh, wow, she's hot. And she's hot. Udin's older sister's hot. Maybe she wants to bang Udin. That kind of stuff. But, as it turns out, it might actually be true. And Shell is an interesting character on top of that. So, I think that that's what's going to happen with newer characters in terms of, hey, if there's some ability.
Yeah, I guess that's fair to say.
Well, but anyway, anything else to add, guys? Or should I wrap it up for today?
That's it for me.
Yeah, that's it for me as well.
Alright then, well, that's pretty much it then. If you guys have anything else you want to add on the comments, feel free to discuss away. I'll be reading them. I thank you all for watching. It's your boy, Sharp Teeth Girl, signing out.